Hi, this is Andrea Schulman again, and in today's quick law of attraction video, I'm going to explain in a very simplified way how to apply the law of attraction. So if you are new to understanding the law of attraction, this should be useful. And also, if you've been studying it for a while, hopefully this makes things even clearer for you. But first, if you're watching this video on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you are notified whenever I release a new video, because I do release new videos just like this one every single week. Okay? But let's go ahead and talk now about how to apply the law of attraction. Well, the first thing here is that whether or not you attempt to apply the law of attraction, you're applying it all the time. Okay, so your entire reality is constructed through the law of attraction. But if you want to know how to apply the law of attraction in a conscious way so that you can create things that you want to create, it's useful to understand how the process works. And usually how it is explained, most people have heard the ask, believe, receive recipe. Okay, so first you have to ask for what you want, then you got to believe that it's coming, and then it just shows up. Okay, now the first thing here to understand is the ask portion. All right, so in order to manifest anything, you have to be asking some kind of question. Okay, and this is something I think gets glossed over or not really mentioned much, but you know, if you've heard of duality. Okay, there's this concept of duality, which means that there are opposites to all things. There's a yin to the yang, a female to the male, a good to the bad. You get the picture? Well, for every question, there is an answer. So if there's something that you want, that is your question. You know, how do I become rich? You know, how do I become famous? How do I get this job that I want? Okay, these are questions that you're throwing out. And for every question, there must be an answer. It is a law of the universe, okay? That's just the way that it works. For all questions, there are answers. And so that's the first thing to understand, is that when you ask a question, you're throwing it out there that you want the answer to that question to come to you. That's really the first part of the equation, is you have to ask. If you're not asking a particular question, if you're not asking for something, it cannot arrive. So it has to be in your field of consciousness that there is something that you want, that there is something that you're looking for, that there is something that you expect to see. You have to put it out there so that it can be reflected back to you. Now, the second part of the equation is the part that is most confusing for people, because it is the believe construct. So it's not just about asking, but there also has to be belief. Belief that you're going to receive your answer. This is the area that people ordinarily get frustrated with, is in the cultivating belief. And here's the thing. If you don't understand from the first part that for every question there is an answer, you will get very bogged down in what you already know. Okay, so your reality is already a whole collaboration of answers that you've already received. And sometimes what we do is we just assume that we already have it all figured out, and that it can't come this way because of X, Y, Z, or that's not going to work for me because of X, Y, Z. So the real trick with the belief part is that you have to be open to the idea that the answer is out there. And if you hear yourself saying anything like, I can't have this because that's not going to work for me, this stuff doesn't work, if you hear anything like that, what that is, that's basically a block to the answer coming to you. Okay, so anything that you're putting out there that says, I can't have this, it can't work that way, it can't happen that way, those are blocks to the answer coming to your question. So it's not just important to ask the question, but it has to be important of understanding that the answer is out there. And again, it has to be out there, because for every question, there is an answer. For every good, there's a bad. For every positive, there's a negative. It's all out there. Okay, so that's one of the big things I think is helpful about cultivating belief, is understanding that there is an answer to your question on how to be rich, how to be famous, how to have a relationship, how to have X, Y, Z. It's out there. You have to be open to receiving it. And if you're saying anything at all about it can't happen because of this, you're blocking that answer from coming to you. Now, the last part of the recipe is the simplest. It is the receive. Receiving requires you to do absolutely nothing. If you've done the first two steps, the receiving will happen. If you've asked the question and you know it's out there, it will come to you. The answer, it will show up. All right? That's really the dynamic. But it has to be a very easy asking and a knowing that the answer is out there. And whenever you've got that going on, things manifest for you very, very easily. I hope you've enjoyed this simple explanation on how to apply the law of attraction. If you enjoyed this video, you might like another video I created on setting intentions. And you may find that there's a link to that video in the description if you'd like to go ahead and watch that now. Also, I would like to invite you to take my Law of Attraction Challenge. I do think I explained the Law of Attraction very, very well, but the best teacher to you on the dynamic of how it really works is for you to actually put something out there and see how it comes back to you. So to take that Law of Attraction test now, look again in the description. You'll probably find a link to that test, so you can go ahead and check it out right now. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and have a great day. Bye-bye.